What's that? Oh, Rudy Toot Toot.
I don't know what you're talking about. You just got so punchy.
I really did. There was a lot of tension in that episode.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just sort of diffused at the end there.
Yeah, but then there was like so much tension in the like coming for the rest of the season.
Sure.
Yeah.
It took us a minute to realize that it was like a preview of the back half. And I was like, there's a lot going on next week. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm watching The Gilded Age, Season 3, Episode 4.
Marriage is a gamble. Jack and Larry sold the clock
Mm-hmm.
to the manufacturers for $600,000, which I did look up and got differing amounts. It's
Anywhere
either
between $2 and $22 million.
So Jack gets half. He did say those words, and it does look like Larry is taking him carousing in the future. So I don't think Larry's gonna, like, cheat him out of his money.
I don't think Larry's going to, like, steal his money from him and put it in his pocket.
But are we gonna get Jack too many vices?
I'm starting to think. So
absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
This is a weird episode because it was like, it was Gladys' wedding. And so that's like largely what it was. And it was kind of, in some ways, the culmination of plots.
Gladys' Anne Boleyn execution. She was doing too much.
And there's been a handful of things. I've loved it. I've been loving this show and the season. But there's been a handful of things that I just wasn't seeing where the plot was going to go. Like the Gladys and Hector, like in the Duke, and I was sort of like, I understand that she wants a love marriage. What is the tension? Like, what is the drama? And then when we got the preview for the next 4 episodes, I'm like, now I see. He has an overbearing sister. We're going to be following them to England. We're going to be watching her not know how to like do that. Like, there was like a handful of stuff. And similarly with the Jack and Larry, where I'm like, what? I just don't believe that Larry's going to screw Jack over.
Sure.
But then we go to like, I don't know, there was like Can Girls, boxing, and like
gambling.
And I was like, okay.
And we've got this like,
I'm starting to see how I think this could maybe go off the rails.
And we're going to have this patented once a season. I don't think I know this man as well as I thought I did.
And so there's just been a handful of plots where I'm like, they're insisting this is something, and I'm not fully getting it. Yeah. And after that, that kind of changed how I watched this episode and like how I'm expecting the rest of the season to go. Where I'm like, okay.
So the Gladys thing does though feel like kind of a bait and switch, because up to now, my main concern has been that the Duke is going to be like hateful or abusive in some way. But actually, and so I think that's what Gladys has been worried about. I think not fitting in.
What she's been worried about.
Well, I think not fitting in England has not even crossed her mind until she's there. So like that, I don't think has been her fear the whole time. She just doesn't know him or like him. And that's like,
but
also she doesn't seem to dislike him. And it literally was like she was getting told to walk the plank.
It was the Green Mile. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I get that you don't want to do this, but she was just, apparently she hasn't come down from her room.
She's not eating.
Days or weeks. She's not eating. She'll barely take like the tea tray and everything. And then it's just like, Marion goes to talk to her and she's like, it just felt so far away. And then all of a sudden it's here. And I'm like, yeah, that's the linear nature of time. What did you think was going to happen? Like, it was settled.
And again,
she agreed to it in like relatively decent spirits at the end there, you know?
I've heard the words love marriage, love match, all that stuff. I've heard it, but that's where I sort of, I've said this a handful of times, but I'm like, these are very modern ideals, modern, morality. I understand that that she desires a love match and that her father promised her one and kind of was like, whoops.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, I get all that stuff, but I'm like, it also was very common. Like, it
yeah, we
was,
were like very on the cusp of love marriages here. It was like not really the done thing. And Bertha is ruthless, and she was never going to allow that. It could, to the point where like she and George had a conversation, and she was like, well, what would you have wanted for Gladys? And he goes, married to a banker with a nice house and a cottage in Newport. And again, we're just like, she's going to be the most important girl in New York society. And I'm like, she's not gonna live here. She won't be anything in New York society. Like, she'll be like, you know, invited to stuff when she comes back, but like, she's barely going to be the most important. She's not even like in the top 10 important people in London. She's just a duchess.
And there will say, because my mom watches the show as well, and so I'll talk to her about it after like we do our stuff. And my mom brought up the parallels with like the royal family and how difficult it is, especially for
outsiders,
commoners. I mean, American girl, new money American girl marrying into 1880s royal like nobility.
1895, they did, I think, put a number on it. Yeah.
And so once that part was like explicitly stated, I was like, okay, and that seems to be where we're going with it. And so that I started to understand, it started to make sense, because I was going, and it's a fault of mine, but I was going very fairy tale with it.
Sure. Like, this kind of brusque man is coming to abscond with the innocent, you know, I was
just like, oh no, like, I'm going to be rich and powerful and beautiful and have castles.
Well,
like...
that's, okay, that's the main issue for me, is that she's already rich.
Sure. So she has the money. He needs the money. But...
And what's also very interesting to me, which we get juxtaposed with Bertha's sister, Monica, my new favorite character that I don't think we'll see again, played by my absolute favorite person ever, Merritt Weaver. I love her so much. She is sort of poking holes in Bertha's happiness hot air balloon and just being like,
practically, literally, and metaphorically.
Lots of rules, huh? You change so many times a day. You always knew there was like the time and place or whatever. And then it's like juxtaposed with especially what we saw for the rest of the season with Lady Sarah being like, I'm trying to make her into a duchess, but she sucks. So like, what are we going to do?
Lady Sarah was a lot. That was sobering.
Blake Ritzen's real life girlfriend, apparently. Yeah.
The Duke's characterization was also something that have been perplexing me with this plot.
Yeah.
Because they have not been presenting him as a dashing leading man, but they also have not been presenting him.
He's not like a mustache twirling villain.
He's not ugly.
Yeah.
He's not
rude.
Comical. He doesn't seem mean. And we
haven't seen him gambling and carousing with can girls.
And there was like a really interesting and poignant and tense marital bed scene in this episode that I was curious. That's information that we needed.
Yeah.
And he found a way to go down the middle.
Well, where he was very,
he didn't like, white knight it, but he also didn't like brute like.
No, for sure. He's English. Like, it was a very. I like to get. This is going to be awkward for both of us. I like to get awkward things over and done with. It's the night of our wedding. Let's just do it.
He was like, your mother surely explained this to you, and she was like, yes. She
Blessedly,
seemed to do a better job than Violet Bridgerton.
She's more competent. Bertha seems so realistic. If Bertha had not explained what was going to happen to Gladys's vagina, I would have been surprised.
Because Gladys was understandably concerned with it hurting, and he was sort of like, usually only
the first time.
Yeah. And we'll get to like, I don't know. I'm trying to not set myself up for failure by liking him.
Yeah. Well, especially because you pulled out it's going to be like Crimson Peak. And then we got all of those scenes of Lady Sarah totally browbeating him. And he's like, you're the one that told me to find a Yankee wife with money. And I did. And now you're not happy about it. But again, that's the whole thing. Like, Lady Sarah should have been in negotiations with Bertha, because Lady Sarah would have been like, it's quite clear your daughter doesn't want this. And I'm not going to like try to make someone into a duchess who's going to fight me.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because I love Bertha. I am a Bertha shill. I don't think that
we love Carrie Coon.
I love Bertha. I don't think that she's always right. And oh God, yeah. And again, I mean, I am being critical when I say that thing where I'm like, she always gets her way, and she will continue to get her way until she doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen. We're probably gonna witness it. Like,
oh yeah, it looks like it. George looks like he's about to be done. Fucking
as he should be.
Yeah, done.
I mean, that's the way it goes. And I laughed out loud when he was like, "Must you take everything to the stake? Like straight to the stake?"
Oh, but okay, yeah. So, because Larry, I guess one of her bridesmaids is sick, and so Larry is like, I don't know why Marion can't do it. Gladys likes her. She's right across the street. She's the same size. She can get fitted immediately.
I've been curious for this plot too. I'm glad that we finally got it in motion.
Yeah.
Bertha and Marion.
Yeah, and so she's like, okay, after George is like, do you have to take everything so seriously? Let this girl be, like, Gladys likes her. What the fuck difference does it make? And I also was like, a sixth bridesmaid? Who gives a crap? But she was right up in the front with Carrie Astor holding the veil. And so anyway, she does get to be a bridesmaid, but I super liked that as well. Whenever they
and at this point, I mean, Gladys, fine. She deserves to like at least one person in her wedding.
She likes Carrie, so 2. I guess Larry was a groomsman too,
Sure.
so there's 3.
I guess it can be a little bit about Gladys.
Yeah. I was going to say, too, though, we didn't totally finish talking about Larry and Jack.
We're all over the place this episode. It's one of those episodes.
So it definitely is one of those episodes. So the only other thing I really wanted to say about that is that Jack is sort of befuddled. He's watching Larry and the guys, like...
Brilliant performance from Ben.
Volley back and forth, and they're offering 3, but we don't know 3 what? Like $3, 300, 3,000. And so they go back and forth, and he goes, we are willing to go to 4. And Larry is like, you must be serious. Like, you're obviously going to make so much more money than that. We want 6. And the whole time, Ben Ehlers is just like a tennis match. He has no idea what's going on. And then they say 600,000, and he's like, what?
The bottom falls out.
Amazing. So he goes back home.
His wicker chair just...
Yeah. So he goes back to the Van Ryn house, and they all kind of ask, and he's like, I think it went well, but he doesn't say anything like officially. And Mrs. Bauer is such a bro sometimes, because I have some things to say about how she's broing Ada. But... so she's like, that's all we're going to know until he's ready to tell us more. So he comes out of his room later in the evening, and Mrs. Bauer is like putting away the rest of the bread for the morning. And he's like, it went really well. They're buying us out. I'm making $300,000. And she drops the bread on the ground and is like...
The bottom fell out of her wicker chair,
well.
too.
And so he's like, I don't know what am I supposed to do now? Because this is the only home I've ever had, and I don't want to leave. But, like, how can I not leave? And she's the one... Or, no, it was... Was it Larry? Someone told him that he had more money than... Larry did. So he now
compared
has
it to Miss Forte.
Almost as much money as Ada and more money than Mrs. Van. Well, only because all the Van Ryn money's gone.
That leads me to believe it's closer to 22 million than 2 million.
Probably, yeah. Because he has or Mr. Forte had like a textile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably something like that. So anyway, Mrs. Bauer is like, this will be our secret for now. Like, you don't need to tell anybody right now. But eventually you probably will have to. So that does seem like it's going to be coming.
And I like that he would keep working until something else comes along.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but also it's like he can, if he's going to go out carousing, he's going to miss serving. He's going to like get you drunk and miss serving them or something, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, he's obviously got, possibly $11 million to fall back on, but still, So anyway, that's basically the end of it.
He's not like he doesn't know where he wants to go, and he did say that he never had a home before.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to leave the Van Ryn house, so we'll see.
I think he still likes Bridget. Like, I still think he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
They haven't really come back around to that.
Yeah.
And
Adelheid has...
They haven't really...
Yeah. She's apparently...
I don't know what her deal is.
I don't either. She's apparently going to England to train like
a maid and then come back.
An English maid, and then she'll be back.
I'm like, well, why? Bertha doesn't want her.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if it depends on if we find out if Andre was the one that was like planting the stories in the paper, because they were like talking about Gladys's underwear, and there was a picture of her dress.
This whole episode, stuff about the wedding was leaking to the paper, and the show was treating it like it was coming out of the Russell house.
Yeah.
And like it was coming from the staff. And I just didn't think it was Adelheid. I didn't think it was
it's not
Borden
Mrs. Bruce, and
Miss
it's not
Bruce.
no Mr. Borden. He's just a cook. Like,
I suppose the most obvious would have been that it was Andre, the new French maid, who I've been kind of like rooting for She hasn't really done anything, but that felt like an odd to bring in a character like that.
Yeah, and then not have her do anything.
And just not do anything.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Gladys. I thought Gladys was going to have been trying to like sabotage the wedding.
We just didn't really. We didn't.
It'll probably come
finish.
up later because it was like a third of this episode.
Yeah, and then there also was another newspaper thing. Apparently, Mrs. Astor's other daughter, Charlotte, has been possibly engaging in an affair while she was in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And so her husband challenged that man to a duel.
We brought up dueling last week, and then this week I was like, oh.
But then the duel never happened. But it was being reported, and Mrs. Astor was taking everything as a slight.
Well, it was thinly veiled. It was like a blind item.
Well, sure. But then also...
It was like Miss D, and people were able to put two and two together.
Of course. But also, it was like Turner, Mrs. Winterton.
Bottom.
She was being a dick to Lena Astor, but then
I was happy to see her in this episode. This was like let's get her in here.
Sure. But then Bertha was like being genuinely like chatty. She hadn't read the paper that day, and Lena was like, "What do you mean by that?" It was
very hello, Aina start. And
yeah,
she hadn't even seen the license plate.
100%. And so Lena took offense to that, and so we went through with that whole thing.
It was a wedding, so it was good, but because we had Nathan Lane back.
Yeah, and Mamie Fish, Mrs. Fish was there too. She's great.
She was doing she's been acting her ass off this whole season. Her. Also, Turner Winterton, it seems that her husband's taken a turn for the worse.
Methinks she might be poisoning him.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna put it past her, but I could believe that.
I mean, he is old.
Yeah.
He is just like an old man, but no, I mean, I think you have so much more freedom as a widow. I think she wants to be a widow. That's why she chose an old man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She did almost slip up though, because when Bertha introduced Monica to everybody, she was like, "That's so odd. I've never met her." And Mrs. Fish was like, "Why would you have met her?" And she was like, "Oh,
Mrs. Fish had her notepad.
She did.
I think she's
playing Clue. Mm-hmm. She's got 2 out of 3.
We touched on Monica.
Oh, she's so amazing. She's like, I
think she could have played along a little bit.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I do think
Bertha also sabotaged her.
She did sabotage her dress, so she would wear.
Their dynamic feels hard-earned.
It does. But I do also think that I think she looks at Bertha and sees a little girl playing dress up, and she's like, I don't think you know what you're doing. Even though it looks like you do, I don't think you do. And no amount of money makes you know better what you're doing. And she can tell Gladys doesn't want to do this. And so when the actual vows were happening, Monica was looking at Bertha. And I was like, interesting.
The kids liked Monica. Yeah. So, because like I said,
we assume Gladys, but like they didn't interact at all.
I thought they were in the room with her. Were they not? I guess not. No,
Gladys never came downstairs.
Yeah. I guess when she talked about it, it seemed like they did. And so, because
Larry and George seemed very affectionate with her.
Yeah. Because it was a little bit giving me, she doesn't take Gladys's society stuff seriously.
Bertha, but yeah.
Or yes, it was like Monica doesn't take Gladys's society stuff seriously. And so she's going to stick it to her.
It felt less like sticking, and to me, it felt less like sticking and more like Monica wanted to like hold the mirror up to Bertha and be like, "Do you not see what you've done, what's happening?" And like, but again, Bertha's so ruthless that like all she wants is to be at the very top, no matter who she tramples over, including her own daughter. And she also wasn't even going to invite Monica.
Yeah, I was going to say at a certain point, I mean, I know Bertha is still new. She still is, very much new money and new into this world. But it's like truly powerful, like truly rich, powerful, established people, women can have eccentric sisters.
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
It's almost a point of.
Yeah. Just kind of have to.
Yeah, and like I said, she did sabotage Monica with her.
Yeah, she made the coffee too hot, or she heated the
she heated the handle
or something. Yeah, she had Church heat the handle, so she spilled coffee all over herself. She was also the only one that was giving Lady Sarah a run for her money, which was beautiful to see.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I just love Merritt Weaver. She's great.
She was
From Albany.
She was also acting.
She was.
Acting talent. There was a lot of that in this episode.
I don't care. I love it. Everything
I
about
wasn't
it.
complaining. Nobody complained.
Mr. Borden proposed to Mrs. Bruce, and she was like, no can do. I am already married. I am already married. Apparently, her husband has a mental illness. She said melancholia. Or melancholy. I don't know exactly if that's like depression or if he's schizophrenic or something, but he has been in a sanitarium for like 20 years. 10 at least. So maybe this is, she said since 77. So maybe they have truncated this. So then this is 1887.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm just sort of like, well, I don't just keep dating.
That's kind of what
He's like, you told me you were single. And she was like, well, I didn't really know you then. And I'm like, yeah, but now you've been going on dates and kissing. So just keep going on dates and kissing.
I mean, they're not writing about you in the papers. Like,
yeah, I think it's fine.
But I think it was more so like she had to face the reality and confront it to him. It could no longer be this like, whoops.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, I like them a lot too. I really like Borden.
He knocked it out.
Oh, just
the
in
wedding.
general. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Based on everything that I saw.
Oh, the food looked amazing. The cake was beautiful. What else? What else do we got?
Well, we still have Ada.
So we met Madame Dashkova.
Andrea Martin.
Yep. Agnes is out for what Ada thinks is going to be a couple of hours. And so they're in the Van Ryn house, which I thought was nutballs to be doing it like there.
I'm trying to decide if I think that this is necessary. I do buy in, like personally, I buy into a element of that type. I'm a little bit woo-woo. Like I do buy into a discreet or tasteful, medium, psychic, all that. Having said that, I do know that the real gift, I feel like is very few and far between.
It was also
it was extremely fashionable at this time.
It was very fashionable at the time.
The likelihood that Mrs. Dashkova is.
Yeah. So it was very fashionable at the time. Also, we already know that Mrs. Bauer is bad with her money. And
that is true.
Andrea Martin has shill written all over her. So
she's no Helen McCrory, I'll tell you that much. Penny Dreadful. Penny Dreadful.
Yeah. So they're doing this in there. And
dining room.
It's very, oh, yes, I sense great grief. And a man. Is it a man? And not young, but not old. Oh, and it's very, we'll see. And Agnes comes home because since she has no money and all of the stuff is in Ada's name, she couldn't stay for her meeting. And she is like, this is horrible. Luke would not have appreciated this. And like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
You don't need a Ouija board to tell you that.
Yeah. And she didn't like do anything hardcore, but she was like, Mrs. Bauer, go back to the kitchen. Like, she was like,
oh, she was like, you don't need to help with this anymore.
Yeah. So we'll see. Madame Dashkova seems certain she will see Ada again.
Mm-hmm. Give her a card.
Yeah.
I was going to say this episode in this season, I think Agnes got good material.
Oh, yeah.
I like that we're getting her off that couch.
Yes.
And she even, dare I say, had some beautiful dresses. Like
that purple that she wore to the wedding with all of the braiding was so beautiful. During the wedding, or before the wedding, I guess, JP Morgan came to talk to George. And it was just very like, the sky is falling and none of us are going to back your railroad and, you're going to bankrupt New York City.
We kind of talked about, I was like, is it really not important? There's business.
There's like a stock market scare. And so banks are closing because they're running out of money because there's no FDIC. There's no like bank insurance.
Okay.
It's like you've seen It's a Wonderful Life.
That's what I was
just like that. It's like there's runs on banks
it's in Mrs. house.
Yeah.
And,
It's because people...
I actually kind of love... Andrew loves that movie, so we've started watching it on Christmases.
Yeah. So that's basically what's happening is that people are spooked for some reason and people are pulling their money out. And so JP Morgan is like, I'm not going to back you. Neither is anybody else. Like, you're going to be the ruin of New York City. And I'm just like, well, The Vanderbilts never lost all their money, and neither did JP Morgan, because JP Morgan Chase still exists.
I'm not worried about the.
No, I think it's going to happen. And also it looks like George is sending Larry to go deal with part of it for him. Because he also is like, this is just a scare and it's going to blow over. And when it is over, the country is still going to need this train that I'm trying to provide. So like, I'm obviously going to keep going with it. We still don't know anything about the money that he took from the train thing to pay.
He had the same money in 2 different places. And so far that hasn't come back up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're just misremembering.
We'll see. Because he literally was like, spend Gladys's dowry money on the train. Mm-hmm. But then the wedding did go through.
And for me, kind of much like Bertha, I'm also on Georgia's side where I'm like, the money's irrelevant. The country needs that train.
Yeah.
So it's like where the money comes from, we'll figure that out later.
Matter.
Like.
Yeah. One fun fact that I know about JP Morgan is that he consulted astrologists like through his life a lot, which I always think is funny.
Now that you say that, I have watched YouTube video essays on it, so I'm practically a scholar. It's like all in the buildings, like of the banks and stuff. Yeah. It's like
there's I've been in.
Gotta work the secret.
Yeah, I've been in like a Senate building that had, which I thought was very strange, but it's got the zodiac signs in the friezes all around the ceiling.
The occult is everywhere.
Yeah. So I guess that mostly leaves us in Newport with Peggy.
Well, I was going to say Gladys cried a whole bunch.
Oh my God, just weeping down the aisle. And Mrs. Fish and Turner,
as the Four Seasons played. Yeah. The Requiem for a...
They were like, because she was wearing a veil, but everybody could see that she was crying.
Her wedding dress was
unbelievable.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's... I've said it a couple times when we talk about the fashion on the show. It's like, this isn't really my style. It's like not my time period and not my like I'm much more flowy, like Greco-Roman, Versace type stuff. Yeah. Corseted. Yeah. If it's not flowy, then I want it. Well, this is corseted, but the way that they are interpreting a lot of these things and the fact that the wedding dress was so traditional, it was so traditional looking, and yet I like just the lace across her neck.
Yeah, so pretty.
And the like layered satin ruching and the veil. Oh my God.
It was beautiful.
Because I thought we really liked Bertha's peach pink
at the beginning. Oh my God. Yeah, I do kind of wish she had worn something a little more flashy to the wedding. But it was like blue and gray, and it was pretty, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting from her. But I did like it.
So yeah, the Newport too.
Just kind of more of the same, except now Peggy has noticed. Now Peggy is like, oh, I get what you and Dad were fighting about. This sucks. Like, she sucks.
But she also, though, Elizabeth Kirkland. She also seems sort of like a wind-up toy, though. Because it's like, the people around, like her son is kind of like, yeah, Mom. And her husband also did the same thing. Because she was just like outright, like, trash-talking Arthur.
Yeah.
Like, Dorothy couldn't let it stay.
No, which was great. I love that Dorothy was like, my husband is just as honorable a man as your husband, don't you think? And Mr. Kirkland was like, yes, he is. And my wife would say so too.
Can we get her a room until she tires herself out? Right. Like, just so she can go in circles until it's like time for another winding?
And she just kept, so like Peggy was like, had written some sort of paper, and
it was like the Tuskegee.
Was the Tuskegee
Was
thing?
it? We were talking a little bit, and so I missed a detail or two.
Well, she was talking about voting, but I think she was writing a story about something else, and she was
wasn't
like,
impressed with Peggy's writing.
It's such a violent, vulgar thing for anyone to write, much less a young lady, and like, I don't know. Peggy was like, who else should...
Peggy was like, oh, I mean, it's politics. It's news. And she's the one who brought up voting. And that was kind of like, whoa.
Yeah. She did say in her lifetime, and I'm not sure that happened.
Peggy or Elizabeth's?
Peggy.
When was suffrage?
White women got the right to vote in 1920.
I thought that was black women, too.
No, not universally. Black women's right to vote was secured through a combination of constitutional amendments and landmark legislation. The 19th Amendment was in 1920, but the Voting Rights Act of 1965 was like the guarantee for the whole country.
Wow. Yeah, but it was 1920.
That's
I thought
suffrage.
Because I knew men, like I knew black men could vote in the 1800s.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
Arthur has mentioned
landowning.
Yeah,
I think it had to do with that. I learned all this stuff at one point, and then various levels of it stick and fall out, and then get influenced by fiction and historical fiction and stuff. But well, yeah, I mean, Peggy will see that.
She will in New York, but she will not see black women across the country. She won't live till 1965.
Okay, well,
it's unlikely. It's unlikely any of these people will make it to 1965.
But I mean, they were voting. I heard what you said, but they were voting before
in some places, not through the whole country.
There were places in the country where black women couldn't vote before 1965?
I'm certain of it in the South.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's okay. So it says in 1920, the 19th Amendment, this amendment granted women the right to vote nationwide by prohibiting the denial of suffrage based on sex. However, in practice, many black women, especially in the South, faced continued disenfranchisement due to discriminatory state law and practices like poll taxes and literacy tests.
Okay. I understand now.
Hey, it's also still happening right now today.
So Peggy was speaking.
Yeah.
And they came to see her speaking.
Yeah.
It seems like they're sort of like tacking Aurora's plot onto hers. Depending on how that goes, I don't hate that.
No, because honestly, if Aurora gets really into suffrage.
Yeah, I would love that for her.
Yeah.
Love that for her.
And so Peggy goes up to her and she's like, Marion told me you're having some difficulties. Like, what's going on? And she's like, I'm doing as well as I can, blah, blah, blah. And Peggy did she told her mother that she was going through divorce and there's only, so they seem sympathetic to her, which is nice.
We did get a little bit of clarification that the phrase or the term we were looking for last week was colorist.
Yes.
Colorist.
Yeah.
Instead of racist, it's like colorist.
I mean, it is different. And I do know that in the,
sometimes we're just fighting for our lives to get a thought completed, so we just grab whatever word.
As you could see when I couldn't pronounce the word discriminatory. So I do understand that there is a difference. It's just that that was the first word that my brain grabbed.
Well, and also I just I like having an example of it.
Yeah.
Where it's very sort of like Blue's Clues, where it's like, here's the thing, now repeat it. Here's an example of it in use.
So she's just she seemed sort of indifferent to Peggy last week, but now especially because she can see how much Dr. Kirkland likes her, she's very cutting her down at the knees at every chance. And I just am not here for it, especially because it's I love a strong woman. I'm loving, Dorothy. I'm loving Caroline Astor. I'm loving Bertha. I like Felicia Rashad. But I am sort of when you've got this husband on this side and this son on the other, both championing this, what makes you think you're going to win?
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually make these decisions. It's going to be the man. I don't know. You
also get the sense, though, that she is, Elizabeth is a little bit in a bubble in Newport.
Yeah, they do seem to be living in
sort
Newport.
of like a queen of a castle on a hill.
Yeah.
And I can see how you could lose sight or lose touch of reality if you've managed a really sweet deal. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's
also apparently we're going to get Miss Fortune back. And 4 episodes ago, I would have been thrilled because I loved him. But now I'm just
well, it looks like he's going to fight Dr. Kirkland
now I'm
in the train
You're
station.
not Dr. Kirkland, and you never could be.
But also, is he not still married? What's happening?
Well, we'll find out, I guess.
Crazy. So I do like that Peggy has clocked Elizabeth's nonsense and is I get it now. We'll see. But yeah. There is something coming. Some biddy is gonna tell Elizabeth about Peggy's past. There was that lady sitting with Elizabeth on the couch and was like, I know things about her.
It was a good episode, and Gladys's wedding dress and stuff was good.
Her trousseau was the best part. So when she was still in the Russell house and she was locked herself away, it was all this eyelet lace, and it was just a nightgown. It was beautiful, but her wedding nightgown, it was mesh with horizontal panels of silk. It was beautiful.
I just was gonna say, like, we like finished the episode, and especially on a very kind of like a poignant's not really the word, but like a
semi-unwilling fade to black sex scene.
I was very like, ooh, like,
yeah.
And then we like got this like montage of scenes to come, and I was sort of like, I want to talk about this. So.
Oscar has more clients. He's up to like close to 20, and I don't know. I still don't know what he's doing. Actually, like, I know he's a banker. I know he's like an investment banker, but like, is it gonna work this time? Like,
yeah, we'll find out.
So that was
So okay, well, that was
a long. I think we talked a long time too. It's 10:50. Bye.